Welcome to Thyroid Solutions. This is Dr. Todd Stone. Today we're going to try to answer the question, why do I still have thyroid symptoms even when I'm taking thyroid medications? Why? So why is my thyroid not working? In the medical model, which most of us begin the journey toward either condition management or you might say health, although that's not entirely appropriate, you can accept that you just don't make enough, and that's how it's kind of described in medicine, and you just take the hormone. So you don't have enough, you're broken, take it. It doesn't say why you're broken, it doesn't say why you're not making enough. What I do is we can evaluate your entire endocrine system for low thyroid function and endocrine disruptors. So sometimes people have a normal TSH, which is kind of the gold standard in medicine to see if you have a thyroid condition. They may even have a normal T4 and T3 if someone looks into it that deeply, but they still have the thyroid symptoms. So really, with the disruptors, treating your thyroid requires a full system analysis. And you know that you still have a thyroid problem if you're suffering from any and all of these symptoms. And generally, if you're having 2, 3, 4 of these symptoms on a regular basis, you still have a thyroid problem. So this is kind of how it goes. You say to your doctor, my thyroid is slow, or my energy is low, or my metabolism is slow. You describe the problems that you're experiencing, or specifically the symptoms, my hair is falling out. And the doctor says, let's run some tests, and he runs a TSH, which of course can be high, normal, or low. If the TSH level comes back and it's high, then it indicates a low thyroid output, and the treatment is Synthroid. You might feel better, you might feel worse. I've met multiple people who felt worse once they got on Synthroid, or there's really no change. And the reason for that is because you're only testing and you're only treating one of over 20 possible scenarios that could cause low thyroid output when we include all the endocrine disruptors. So what we really need to do is a full metabolic workup. We need to know how the entire system is working and transferring information. So we need all the hormones. We need to look at the TSH, of course. That's a pituitary hormone. And then T4, which is the thyroid output, T3, which is the active thyroid that's converted in the body, and then there's a hormone, it's actually T3 bound and inactivated called reverse T3, which is a disruption from stress physiology. And we need to look at the thyroid antibodies, which tells us that there's a disruption occurring from the immune system. In cases like this, where it's a stress physiology and an immune disruption, there is nothing wrong with the thyroid gland, it's just suppressed. We also look at your general blood work, specifically the CBC looks a little bit at the immune system, and one of the biggies we see here is anemias, which means your body's not carrying oxygen to your cells. And if it perceives a lack of oxygen, it's going to shut down your metabolism. It's going to shut down your energy from a higher up source, and your thyroid becomes suppressed. And there's, again, nothing wrong with your thyroid. The lipid panel provides us with triglycerides, cholesterol, HDL cholesterol, and a specific marker or measurement, which is the triglyceride to HDL ratio, gives us a very sensitive measure of how your insulin works in your system, and basically how your blood sugar is being regulated. So if your blood sugar is spiking and crashing and spiking and crashing, that stress is going to eventually suppress your immune system, or your thyroid function. And then the other is C-reactive protein, homocysteine. These are inflammation, vitamin D. These are all things that can also, low vitamin D states can disrupt and cause suppressed thyroid function. If we do see that reverse T3, we need to look at the adrenal hormones. We need to know what the output is in the morning and afternoon and evening and bedtime. We need to know the whole rhythm of the hormonal system, the adrenal hormone system. And we also want to look at sex hormones, high estrogen, high progesterone, things like that can also disrupt the thyroid function. A very important one down here is the T and B lymphocyte panel. This looks even deeper than autoimmune thyroid. And I always explain that if you've had a cold or a flu, immediately your metabolism, your energy system is suppressed. You need to go to bed immediately. It doesn't take 2 days, 2 weeks, a year. So we need to know what your immune system is doing, and this is the most in-depth panel that gives us that information. And then one last thing that we look at is your neurotransmitter balances. Serotonin, dopamine, GABA, which is a calming neurotransmitter. And then you need to have a doctor that can interpret all these tests and put them together so that you can literally create a map of how you can move from this situation towards a healthier state of being. So consider this. How has your chronic condition affected your job, your relationships, your finances, your family, other activities? A lot of people with thyroid disorders, because thyroid creates mental fogginess and depression, it's hard to do your job. It's hard to have a healthy relationship. What does it cost you in time, money, happiness, sleep? Because the adrenal hormones are so important in the regulation of sleep. Many times we see problems with sleep too. And where do you picture yourself in the next 1 to 3 years? If you're feeling like this now, what if you don't take care of it? And what is it worth to you if we could improve your condition? And I bring this up because obviously it's a little more expensive to do all these tests than it is to just run a TSH. But the initial costs, far outweigh because you're actually getting some solutions. You're getting the answer why, which also leads to how you actually correct this problem. So what do you do next? Just call our office, schedule your consultation. If we aren't available, leave your name and contact information, and then we'll get you going on filling your paperwork, including a records request, so we can order all the tests that you've had to date, and then we can fill in the gaps, which is usually most of the tests that I have listed, unfortunately. So we order the missing tests, and then we sit down and carefully, and so you understand, we detail the why. Why is your thyroid functioning low? And what are the scenarios and the disruptors that are affecting that, and what do we need to do to bring that function back up, and bring your energy back up, and bring your metabolism back up? And we'll kind of detail that how over some time, and what, depending upon what has to happen. And there's so many different scenarios that can suppress your thyroid function that I can't really give you that explanation. That depends on what your test results show. If you're a kind of person that needs more information, and I always let people know that information is never going to get you well, it's the application of that information, of course, but we do have a free thyroid report at this website, which should be at the bottom of your screen. Just sign up and you'll get a lot more science and a lot more hows and whats and whys about our handling of thyroid conditions. So in any event, thank you very much for your time, and best wishes on your health journey. And if there's anything I can do to help you, by all means, give us a call.